Hello, I'm going to do the Gemini energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. All right, Gemini, struggling with Five of Wands. What does Gemini need to look at? Coming in for Gemini. Okay. All right. Coming in, we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Magician, and we have the Six of Pentacles. All right, clarification for Five of Wands for Gemini. I feel like you're backing yourself into a corner with something. All right, clarification for the Lovers. Lovers is Gemini's card, right? All right, and all right, we have the Moon, we have the Page of Swords, we have the all right. We have the Moon, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Nine of Wands, we have the Seven of Cups, we have the Three of Swords, we have the Death, we have the Death card, we have the King of Pentacles, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles. There's change coming in for you, but I feel like this is something that is, it's almost like you're fighting against it, right? You're fighting against change. You're fighting against, it's almost like you're overthinking it, you're overprocessing it. Like it's almost like you're fighting against this change that wants to come in. So what you're struggling is you have the Five of Wands, you're going back and forth with something, or there's a lot of fighting or arguing around you. I kind of feel like it's within your own head. I feel like it's you know, sometimes like with Gemini, we have the twins where, you know, it's a lot of thinking, it's a lot of processing, it's a lot of things that are going in your head, and then one minute you feel one way, and then the next minute you've analyzed it, and now you've changed your mind about something, and it's almost like you have trouble focusing and on a directive and going in a direction and staying on that path. And I feel like there's a path that you want to go on, but I feel like it's almost like you're fighting up against yourself. You have your thoughts involved. You have your emotions, right? The King of Cups. 1 minute you're feeling aloof. You don't want to do anything. And then the next minute you're feeling good and you're feeling happy. And you know, you want to get into it. You're more driven. And then I feel like because of this, you're starting to shut down. Like you're having trouble. You're starting to shut down, you're starting to back away. And that's what happens with Gemini, is Gemini gets so in their head that they start to back away, that they start to kind of cut everyone else off. But Gemini needs that time to process those things. And what you need to look at is your own strength and your own power. But I also feel like it's looking at those partnerships that are around you that can help you, right? Sometimes other people can give you that direction or that guidance. It doesn't mean you're going to follow it, but sometimes they may have a point of view that helps you to kind of realize what's going on and what you need to do and where you need to go and how you can move on. I feel like you're stuck with something. Like you're stuck. It's like you've come to this place in the road where you're stuck with something. And it's almost like you're overthinking and overprocessing it. But I feel like communicating with someone else may give you that direction or that guidance for you to move forward, for you to let go of things, but then also to move to calmer waters, right? Because we have the calmer waters here, but we have the crazy waters here. Ace of Swords is, aces are new beginnings and a new way of seeing things, right? Future energy is a lot going on here. I usually don't pull this many cards, but I felt like I needed to keep going. I feel like there's a lot of change coming for you. I feel like you start to come into your own power, but I also feel like you start to share and you start to communicate. I feel like you have a lot of things in your head that you're not sharing with someone that is around you, or that you want to speak up about something, or you want to do something. And I feel like you're keeping it all to yourself instead of expressing it and letting it go. And that starts to build up, right? And that almost makes you think even more because you're handling all of this yourself. I feel that there's someone around you that you can help to relieve this, right? That you can share with, that you can let this go. Could just be a journal. Sometimes if you just write things down and you let things go, that can help a lot. I feel that you're overwhelmed with things. I feel that there are some things that you need to handle. I feel like it's almost like you're deceiving yourself that you're fine, right? That you keep telling yourself that you're fine, but I feel that inside you're really hurt. Death card right next to the Three of Swords is there is some hurt that you need to let go of because it's confusing you. That's what's causing this here. And once you're able to let that go, right, we have this calmness of the King of Pentacles, this relaxed, this you feel more under control. You feel, and then you're able to get back to work, right? Then you're able to kind of take a closer look at things and seeing, wow, I feel like you've created this pattern where you keep going through this same pattern where things build and build and build and build and build until it gets to the point where you can't take it anymore. And then you have to deal with it and you work through it and then you're back at the bottom. But I feel like it's this constant up and down that you keep doing it. That there are things that bother you and that you hold on to them too long, that you process them too long, that you overthink them too long, right? This Three of Swords. That you want to give up on it, but then it puts you in a bad mood, right? But you overthink it and you worry about it. But I feel like by communicating, by releasing, by letting them go, you free yourself sooner. If you say, okay, I see I'm starting to build up things. I see that things are starting to pile up for me, right? I'm gonna get ahead of this situation. I'm going to release it. I'm going to communicate. If there's someone that I have around me, right? So if it's a relationship, and that person is doing things, but you're not saying anything, and it's building and building and building within yourself until you start to shut down, you start to back away, you're not communicating, there starts to be problems, there's problems in the relationship, but you're worrying about the relationship. Instead of that building up, that you communicate earlier, right? That you say, okay, this has been on my mind and I need to communicate this. So you release that tension that starts to build up. Or if it's just something within yourself that you realize, I don't need to put myself in this Nine of Swords, that worrying about a situation, right? Worrying about something that has happened is only hurting myself. It's not hurting that person. That I'm stacking up all of these wands on myself. I'm being on overload, that I'm doing this to myself, and this is something that I have to change. This is something that I have to look at. This is something that I need to see, that I need to change in order for me to have freedom from this. And that, yes, I still need to process things. Yes, I still need to work through things because Gemini is, always thinking. But I need to find relief for myself, and I need to take control of a situation, right? The Magician taking control of this situation. And how do I handle that? And if I find a way where, okay, communicating and letting this go helps me, then that's what I need to do. Whether it's writing it down in your own journal, writing it down on a piece of paper and then throwing it away. If it's communicating to a partner or a relationship and getting that off your mind, then that's not on your plate. I feel like you have too much on your plate and it's overwhelming you. And that it's starting to build up and you need to let it go, right? That there needs to be some change here for you. But this is something that you have to look at. This is something that you have to realize and that you have to do. Sometimes, like I said, if you surround yourself with someone that can maybe give you some thoughts or some ideas to see things, what are your resources that you have that you can look at things differently? Look at those things. Look at what are the resources? What can you learn? What can you do, right? That if there is a problem with this, that you're starting to shut down, that you're going back and forth with, what are those things that you can do to work past this so that you don't get to where things become so heavy, right? That they build and build and build. Magician and the mirror. And that's what I was saying here is magician in the mirror is you coming into your own power, your own reflection, and seeing what it is that you're doing to yourself, right? Sometimes we don't realize those things. We have the infinity sign here and the infinity sign here. This is individual empowerment and everlasting love. It's you getting things under control, that you have more power in this situation than you realize. I feel like you feel that this is out of your control and that you're just kind of getting by the best that you can. But I feel like you need to realize and look in the mirror and realize that you are in control of this situation. You are in control of what's going on. You are in control of this Three of Swords. Right? That you have the power to change things. Sometimes we don't realize that. If it's negativity that starts to come in, for me, what I do is I imagine that red circle with the line through it, and that thought or that image, I put that stamp on it, and I say, no, I'm not going there. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not going down that path, because it's not going to help me. It's only going to hurt me. And I don't want to have that energy around me, and I need to stop that. We have community, surrounding yourself with that community that is supportive, right? That community, that's what I was saying here, is that is there someone around you? Is there a relationship, a friend, a family member? Is there a community that you can speak to that can help you when you are struggling with this and give you a different perspective, or have you see things differently, or to, you know, that you can release things with, that you can share things with, and that it will release this tension that is building up within you, right? This Nine of Swords. And sometimes just talking about things helps you to release and let those things go, because you get them out. But then also realizing that you are in control of this, and that, like I said, if you don't want to go into this energy, process it the best that you can, and then say, okay, I'm over, I'm done with it. I don't want to focus on it. I want to let it go, because it's prohibiting me from changing, right? It's prohibiting me from moving forward. Sometimes we have to take a hard look at those things and see how can we change these things. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.